Hey, Sagittarius, intuitive soul coach here with your end of the year bonus reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. Today we'll dive into the collective energy of Sagittarius and take a look at how you are winding down the 2022 year. So just a friendly reminder, these are general readings. Please do take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are interested in a personal reading or even entering into the free monthly reading giveaway, you can find both of those links in the description box below. All right, so Sagittarius, today we'll dive into your overall end of the year energy. We'll take a look at what it is that you are releasing in 2022 and what you are bringing into the 2023 year. We'll also take a look at how you've grown over the last 12 months. We'll take a look at action steps that you can take to continue moving forward on your soul's journey. And lastly, we'll get messages from your spiritual team. So let's dive in. Sagittarius, we have here Cancer, Virgo, and Pisces energy. Now you may have these placements in your chart. You may be dealing with others who have these placements in their chart, or you are just embodying the overall energy. So right away here, this Cancerian energy says push through any insecurities. This is the time to really push through, but also to feel why and where those insecurities first stemmed from. It is time to shed light on the dark. So a lot of the things that may have been holding you back, limiting beliefs, habits, patterns, destructive or negative relationship dynamics, this can also be about your career, your own mental, physical, emotional health. This is about you shedding light to those things. And in order to do that fully, you must push through the insecurities. You must take a look at why they exist, because you don't want to carry those insecurities any longer, especially as you navigate into the new year. So some of you, you may have big dreams, big ideas. You may be trying to control a situation. I'm getting control here for some of you, or you may feel like other people are trying to control the situation for you. This is time for you to take back your power, push through those insecurities, and do what it is that you're being called to do. So what's happening is we are shifting our vibration. We are shifting to a higher level of consciousness. And what that allows us to do is tap into that higher self more readily, more accessible. We're able to remember our blueprint of why we came down to this earthly plane, to remember why we chose to have specific experiences. So a lot of you are on that trajectory, on that path to really liberating yourself, opening up to a new way of thinking, being, and doing. A whole new world is waiting here for you. Now we have Virgo energy. It's time to assess the situation, Sagittarius. Take a look at what is working, what is not. What are the things that you can continue bringing into the new year that are benefiting you? What are patterns and habits that are beneficial to your growth, to your career, to your relationships, to your self-development? What are the things that may be hindering you? This can be a perfect time to create a limiting belief list where you have the limiting belief in one side and the other side you have the replacement. It's time to really upgrade our belief system, but also it's time to awaken, shed light on the areas that may have been too difficult to deal with. They may have been challenging, painful, traumatic. For some of us, until we become aware, we're going to go along with the flow thinking that destiny or fate is intervening, but it's because sometimes we are unaware of the habits that we've created or the conditioning that we have been programmed to believe. It's time to shed light on the things that no longer serve us. So we also have here, honor your feelings. Pisces, Sagittarius, it's Pisces energy here, but this is a time for you to feel those emotions. Feel those symptoms, the pain. A lot of you are feeling the physical shifts of us raising our vibrations. You may have been feeling it over the past 6 months, over the past 12 months. Some of you have dealt with serious illnesses. serious traumas, that maybe even big triggers that have been showing up, especially in the last, I want to say even the 3 to 6 months. Within the last 3 to 6 months, there's been a lot going on, but it's for you to feel. And that's why we're having these human experiences. We are a soul that chose to have these human experiences, no matter how challenging they may be to us. But we get down here in this human form and we have these human emotions and we don't always want to feel them. We suppress them, we numb them, we store them in our bodies for a longer period of time than necessary, and it holds us down. It lowers our vibration. It lowers our frequency to hang on to that stored trauma. And now you're understanding and you're coming up to this new awareness that it's okay to honor your feelings. But once you realize that you are a soul having a human experience that you chose prior to incarnating into this life, then you're really able to feel. You're really able to experience the situations. And when you're able to feel, you're able to let that energy flow through your body and not store it for a later time. Store it as it becomes trauma. And that brings in, post-traumatic stress disorder. It can bring in triggers. It can bring in a lot of unexpected pain when we think we healed it, right? Because we want to numb it. We don't want to feel it. The second something negative shows up in our world, we must immediately get rid of it. But that's not what this human experience is all about. And you are shifting into this frequency where you're feeling everything on a deeper soul level. And that is what you came here, Sagittarius, to do. So let's dive into your energy and take a look at where you are at the end of this 2022 year. Where are you currently at? And Sag, a lot of signs, not a lot, all of them have received a major amount of major arcana. So before even going into too much detail, it wouldn't surprise me to see a lot of major arcanas, such as the Death card. For a lot of you, the Star card has been showing up, the Judgment, the Emperor for taking charge, taking and reclaiming your power. So definitely a lot going on towards the end of this year. We do have a full moon in the sign of Gemini on the 7th, and that is a wonderful time for release. Oh, wow. I just have to show you something quick here. So as you can see, all of the cards are facing downward, but the one card that is upward has been what we're talking about. It's the Sun card. In Sagittarius, the Sun card is about abundance. It's about shedding light to all of the shadows, all of the dark. And once you shed light, you have a whole new understanding of why you came here on earth. This is about you tapping into your higher self. Your higher self holds that blueprint, holds your skills, your gifts, your talents. You're able to remember. When we come here on earth, we have what is called spiritual amnesia. And sometimes we forget why we are here. And we may always say, what's that missing piece? There's something missing out of my life. There's nothing missing. It's been there all along. But sometimes we fail to remember our soul purpose. Now you have full access. Now you're raising your vibration. We as a collective are rising in energy. And this is all about you shining and shedding light to the things that may have been difficult or challenging. Instead of trying to control a situation, numb it, manipulate it, get rid of it, eradicate it, through not feeling it, that's when, again, we keep things stored or things show up. We tend to repeat patterns. We tend to play the same relationship dynamics. We tend to constantly go through repetitive cycles. But now you're having this new awareness. So let's take a look at where you're at. There's the Death card that I spoke of earlier. So this has been showing up pretty much in every reading, a lot of them. I do suggest Sagittarius. Normally I don't. You can watch whatever readings resonate to you, but I suggest these readings because they're so powerful, and the energy that Spirit is allowing me to channel is so deep that I recommend you watching your rising or even your moon sign as well, because they're powerful. And you're going to see that there is a collective energy, collective messages that are showing up throughout. This is because we are shifting on a collective level. This is all about releasing the things that no longer serve you. When this death energy shows up, it is a major spiritual transformation. It is a time of an ending. December physically is a month of ending the old to make way for new. This is about victory as well, success. Endings are about you stepping into the light, stepping into this new energy. Just as that butterfly goes through the whole cocooning process, it starts out as that caterpillar. It doesn't know. It feels like probably maybe something's missing, right? What's missing is its wings. He's had them there all along, but he just needed to go through that cocoon stage, which that cocoon stage can be years, it can be months, it can be decades. There's no time limit on that cocoon stage, but you've been going through it. Some of you have come to earth to become a light worker, to help uplift humanity. For others of you, you've come down to earth just to experience this human vibration, this human energy here. But what's happening is you are evolving and you are raising your consciousness here, and you are starting to realize that you have these wings that show up in the form of, you being able to connect to that 7th, 8th, and 9th chakra, for you to connect to your higher self, your guides, your angels, your intuition, your knowing. Right? And this is about you releasing those things that held you back in the past. The struggles, the traumas, the pain, the addictions, the patterns, the habits, the limiting beliefs, the negative relationships, the toxic cycles. Whatever this was here for you, it is time to release. And what happens when you release? What happens when you realize that you have wings? Love abounds, Ace of Cups. There is a soul-quenching renewal that happens within you. A soul-quenching renewal. It feeds your soul, right? It is that thirst that you have been longing for some time. It is that remembrance, that knowing. When this shows up, this is about a new connection. This is about feeling inspiration, understanding why and how the relationship patterns and mirrors and dynamics have been showing up for you. There is a greater knowledge, a greater connection here. And now this could manifest in the physical form as well as soul tribe coming in to help you evolve even more on this earthly realm. This is a connection with your spiritual helpers, your loved ones, your ancestors, people who've crossed over to the other side, that you felt that grief and that loss. You're realizing that everyone on this earthly plane is part of that consciousness, and that they're just having a human experience. You're not judging. You're not looking at anyone as possibly negative or traumatized, or that they're a bad person, they're an evil person. What's coming over here is forgiveness, is non-judging energy, is about opening up to that collective energy of love, compassion, empathy, kindness. That's what happens when you raise your vibration. You don't feel those lower earthly feelings. You still feel them. It doesn't mean that you're going to go through life never experiencing another challenge. That's not at all what this means, Sagittarius. It just means that you're able to feel the feelings. You're able to feel the experience instead of suppressing it and locking it away, numbing it away, shutting it out. You're able to feel it for what it is and then let it flow out of you instead of trying to control, manipulate, or switch up or eradicate, get rid of. That's not why you came here on earth. This Ace of Cups is huge, and it may start to show up in 2023 in the physical form of love, companionship, friendships, a love for what you do. This is about you opening your heart up, a love for your career, a love so deep for yourself that you no longer crave those negative things, or those, I don't even like the word negative, but the things that maybe aren't the best for you. Caffeine, tobacco, meats possibly for some of you. It may be alcohol. It may be drugs. It may be toxic patterns, relationships. It can be anything at times that lowers our frequency. You may be wanting to fulfill and fuel your body with nourishing energy, whatever that may look like for you. So very, very powerful. You're going through a deep release. Let's see what you're leaving behind in 2022. Oh my gosh, I love it. There's the devil. The devil has shown up for a lot of people. This is exactly what I was talking about here. So Spirit, of course, is 2 or 3 steps in front of me, but the cards are following here. So again, you're leaving behind those toxic patterns. You're leaving behind the temptations that kind of veer you or hold you into those lower frequencies: greed, jealousy, manipulation, control, fear, anxiety, depression, those lower emotions that hold us or tie us or tether us, that seem to feel like we're blocked. It can be limiting beliefs. It can be past conditioning. It can be behaviors that we don't even realize that we are partaking in. What is happening is you are shedding light to the devil. You are shedding light to this energy here. Okay, you're shedding light to the dark. And what you shed light to eradicates through that dark. It dissipates. It's gone there. Once you shed light on something that's dark and you become aware of it, you can no longer unsee what you've seen. And that's what's happening within you, Sagittarius, is you're shedding light to these things that maybe you didn't want to see. And that's okay. That's just part of the human experience. Sometimes we don't want to see. We put up a blindfold. Don't judge yourself because you weren't able to see it. Don't judge yourself because of something that had happened. Don't set yourself in victim mode because you're not the victim. Don't label yourself because of what society says you are or what you've been conditioned to believe. That label is part of the human experience. That is not who you are. So I'm sensing here that a lot of you are getting rid of toxic patterns, behaviors. You no longer want them in your life. And this is something you're realizing, that you are able to rise up above once and for all. And some of you may have struggled for years. It may not just be the last 12 months. But what it is that you're leaving behind is those toxic patterns and anything that has to do with that devil. You are creating new opportunities to find balance. The Four of Cups showing up here says that there's that missing piece, right? What's missing? I'm missing out on this opportunity. I'm not able to do that. I'm limited. I'm tethered. I can't. I won't, right? It's about you being able to say, I can, I am, and I will. It is about saying yes to the opportunities that are showing up and presenting themselves because you are no longer tethered, because you realize that you are a soul having this human experience. And when you realize that, that really switches up the game. You no longer have to struggle, and you no longer have to constantly be feeling like you're in a fight or flight type of energy. You no longer have to feel like you're coming up against a roadblock at every single new direction you go. This Four of Cups is about feeling inspiration. It is about feeling grateful. It is about feeling optimistic instead of those lower vibrations holding you down and feeling like you're missing out. There's a whole plethora of a new world, new opportunities out there. And that's what you're chasing. That's what you are heading towards. You're leaving behind the missed opportunities and saying, no, I'm creating new ones. I see it from a different perspective. The Two of Pentacles is about finding balance in the physical world. You're going to start to see that because the internal shifts and transformations are happening and occurring within you, that your outer world starts to reflect how you're feeling inside, and you're able to start to balance up. When things are chaotic in your outer world, take a look at what's going on inside. Some of you may not even be realizing why things are so chaotic. Maybe there is that limiting belief, that conditioning, that experience, that trauma, that built up energy that maybe is suppressed in your body, that didn't experience the most positive emotion or emotions. You're starting to find balance here, and you're leaving behind anything that is frenetic, anything that is distressed, financial distress for a lot of you, physical distress for a lot of you, physical pain even. But it's important for you to feel it in order to heal it, in order to release it back out into the ether. So this is very powerful here. So what are you bringing into 2023? A lot of light, a lot of sunshine, a lot of abundance. Like I said, once you shed light on the things that were challenging, you're able to free them and release them. And you're able to step into this new I'm going to call it a new world, but really it's a new consciousness. It's a new energy. We are raising our vibration as a collective, as a consciousness, and you are a part of it. You're not going to be left behind here, Sagittarius. You're not going to stay stuck while everybody else rises. That would be victim mentality, but you're not the victim. And again, once you start to see that you are just this beautiful soul, that all of us are these souls that are having this human experience, then you're able to create more abundance in your life. You're able to see the abundance that was already there. You're able to have and hold a life of good health, a life that is successful, a life that is aligned with your blueprint, the blueprint that your higher self has access to at any given moment. You're able to connect and assess that energy quickly. You're able to feel the experiences of the human, human emotions instead of letting them settle in the body. You're able to let them flow through the body and not get stuck. Okay, you're able to shine your light in all areas of your life. And it's a very, very beautiful thing when you finally recognize that this is you. Powerful. Let's take a look and see how you've grown. How have you grown over the last 12 months? You can take it as it resonates for you. And again, these are all really deep readings. If this does not resonate with you, that is okay. This is my truth. This is the energy that is being channeled from, my higher self, my guides. And if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't mean that I'm right and you're wrong, or I'm wrong and you're right. There is no such thing as duality on, the spiritual realm. Duality only exists in this 3D earthly realm of right and wrong, light and dark, good and bad, evil and light, trauma, happy and sad, or, all of those things that bring that duality. We only have that because it's something that we can comprehend as a human. Let's see how you've grown. Ace of Pentacles and Eight of Cups. Moving on. You are starting to move on from the things that are not matching your vibrational frequency, Sagittarius, the things that are not aligned with your blueprint, with your higher good. You're starting to come into contact with new soul contracts. For some of you, you know that it's time to move on, to experience more, to grow in a certain area, even more so than you already have. It may be time to leave an old job or an old position, an old relationship, an old pattern, an old addiction, whatever it may be for you. You're moving on. The Eight of Cups is in search of something deeper. They're in search of their wish fulfillment. They're in search of activating their blueprints, activating their soul journey, their gifts, their skills, their talents. And boy, oh boy, Sagittarius, you are activating it at a rapid speed. And you're having this realization within you. There's a deep knowing that most likely for a lot of you, this does resonate because you are ascending and you are walking away from anything that may have been holding you back. Okay. That caterpillar that we spoke of earlier. The caterpillar isn't any less off than the butterfly. The caterpillar was just able to see from a different perspective because they didn't have the wings at that time. But the caterpillar, once it's transformed into the beautiful butterfly that has the wings, they're able to see things from a higher perspective, and they're able to see not only what the caterpillar could see, but that butterfly now sees from that higher perspective, and they see all of it. Right? And that's you. You see all of it, all of the experiences that you've chosen to partake in this lifetime. You've decided to activate those skills, those gifts, those talents that you've chosen to come into this lifetime with. And you've chosen to shine light on the things that may have been a struggle or a challenge that have been deep within you, but you're realizing that it was all a part of this experience. Okay? This is very powerful. Next, we have the Ace of Pentacles. You have double aces here. Sagittarius, you are releasing a lot. Some of you, a lifetime worth of trauma that's been stored in the body. Some of you have had maybe an aha moment, a near-death experience, a major illness, a major loss that has woken you. Okay. For others of you, it may have been a subtle shift over time that you've realized that the things that you once maybe enjoyed, or the things that you've grown accustomed to, maybe you no longer enjoy doing those things or surrounding yourselves with those types of people or that type of energy or situation. You've outgrown. Now it's time to strengthen the bonds of your soul tribe, strengthen the connection, walk towards here that light. And you can see that she is walking towards something that's more fulfilling. She's walking towards her sunshine, okay, that abundance. And so she's strengthening the bonds within herself. She's trusting and loving herself enough that she is leading a life of abundance, okay? And she's experiencing even the challenges, even the trauma, even the heartache. She's feeling it all and letting it flow through her, where she can continue going forward on her journey with gratitude and abundance, okay? Strengthening bonds, huge. This is how you've grown, by strengthening that connection that you have with your higher self. Let's take a look at action steps that you can take, Sagittarius, to continue moving on your soul's journey. You will continue moving, but these are steps that you can take. We now have the Two of Cups. So not only do you have that Ace of Cups, you have the Two of Cups, which is all about coming together, soul contracts, meetings, like-minded individuals. Some of you, it may be family members. It may be children. It may be your parents. It could be people who've crossed over. It is about you building strong, solid friendships that are here to withstand the test of time, for you to know that these are your soul tribe, the people that want you to grow and thrive. You can see each other, not just through the physical eye, but you see each other through the eye of the soul, the heart here, okay? And that's what this Two of Cups is all about, coming together as a whole. That missing piece that you may have always told yourself, it's missing, you're starting to bring in that balance. You're starting to bring in that energy of wholeness, that masculine and feminine energy, bringing it into one, okay? You're starting to connect to the higher self and remember your knowing. Lastly here, another major arcana. You have 4 of them. Doesn't surprise me. A lot of you, all of you, I should say. I only have a few more readings to do, and every single one have had quite a few. 4 or more. I think Aries had 6 or 7 or 8. If you have Aries in your chart, you definitely want to check that out. But also, you have the Wheel of Fortune. This is flow. This is you going with the flow, which we've been talking about your whole reading. It is time for you to stop fighting. And when I say stop fighting, it means that we at times, we hang on to the pain, right? We hang on to the bitterness or the anger or the he said, she said, or they did something bad. They traumatized us. I'm a victim, or I need to experience this challenge because they said I should, or I am this label, or I am this belief, right? This is about you knowing that you're having this human experience and you are not any of those labels. You are not any of those beliefs. That's just the feeling that you are holding that is actually creating more of that suffering, more of that stuck energy, more of that pain, because you are resisting, right? Instead of going with the flow and feeling it for what it is. And what it is an experience. We don't have to hang on to it. This is the Wheel of Fortune. This is about you breaking cycles. This is about destiny and fate, which we create, right? It's part of the blueprint that we have access to. So any patterns or cycles that have been replaying in your life for months, for years, for generations, this is time for you to break free from. It is time for you to say once and for all, I'm done. I'm done being the victim. I'm done being traumatized by my pain. I'm done being labeled this or that. I am done feeling stuck in this never-ending repetitive cycle of grief or pity or whatever it is that you felt at times. It doesn't mean that you're never going to feel them again. It just means that you'll be able to access why you've experienced them. And instead of, again, hanging on to it, you're able to let the feelings come in and flow out as they should, as they were designed to do. Right? This is about you going with the flow, starting to heal from the inside out, starting to ascend to that higher level so you have access to your why, to your knowing. It's going to be a game-changing year for you, for all of us. But Sagittarius, you're really feeling your power. You're feeling your why. Some of you are really called towards a new path, a new journey, a new way of being, a new way of living, a new way of thinking. And trust that soul calling. Okay, Sag? Trust it. Starseed. What lights you up? Now, these are messages from your spiritual team. What lights you up? That's something I really want you to sit with and ask. What lights you up? Because you have it here. You are lit up. You already know. A lot of you already know what lights you up. And for those of you that don't, you may be thinking, well, nothing lights me up. You'll know. This is something, if you sit with yourself, connect to that higher knowing, do what lights you up. Do more of that. Head in that direction. Shine light on the things that maybe felt dark or heavy. Okay? What lights you up? Next we have here, Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? And this is very important. I was just reading an excerpt the other day, or a book or an audio book. I don't know. I'm constantly in that state of learning and evolving. So I never know really where anything comes from because I have my fingers in 15 different pots. But I was reading the other day that sometimes if we don't have that motherly experience as a small child, it's very important for us to give to ourselves and mother ourselves the way that we never were mothered. So some of you that had a difficult relationship with your mother, it may be very important for you to break some ancestral cycles. Okay? It's important for you to mother and nurture yourself, give to yourself the kind of love that you maybe didn't have. This is important for everyone, even if you did have that love, but especially for those of you that have struggled with your own mother. So how can you mother, nurture, and love yourself? We have here, Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle, and you absolutely are. We've been talking about this vibration, so you're raising up, and you're going to feel that. You're going to feel it in your physical body, but remember, your physical body is a higher level of consciousness. Your body is so very intelligent. When you think about it, you don't have to tell your body to breathe. You don't have to tell your body to digest. You don't have to tell your body to heal a broken bone, right? The body is so intelligent, and this is about you kind of catching up with your body. Your body is already going through the process. It's almost a purging process. So some of you may be feeling that purging on a physical level stronger, especially the more trauma you have stored, the more you may start to feel it. Okay, this is about you knowing and understanding and realizing that you are the oracle. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. This isn't something that is a race, okay? This is something that is an evolution over this course of this lifetime that you chose to incarnate into at this time. You've been training for this. You've been preparing. You've known about what is coming in here for you, and you're ready for it, okay? Even if it feels like you're not ready, you are. Inner Temple, devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. Yes, and we were talking about that earlier. Opening that heart, seeing other people through the eyes of the soul, through the eyes of the heart, instead of on that surface level of human emotions of judgment and criticism and fear and jealousy and envy and greed. We don't need to see a human in that perspective. Do we? Yes, we're having a human experience, but that may be the initial response and reaction at times. But I want you to remember, the second you have that thought or that belief, switch it up. Replace that with, they are a spark of consciousness. They are a light being who's having a human experience just as I am. No better or no worse. There's no need to judge. There's no need to criticize. There's no need to label their trauma as more or deep. Okay? This is about you realizing that you are that inner temple and that you have access to it at all times. And lastly here, Sagittarius, have fun. Celebrate. Don't be so serious. Happy birthday to all of you beautiful Sagittarians out there. Let yourself play. Let yourself have fun. Laugh. Enjoy. Shine that light bright because you absolutely deserve it. Okay, you absolutely deserve it. I hope this resonates, Sagittarius. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I know these readings are deep this month, more so than any of the past readings, even though intuitively I feel like they're all deep. But the end of the year readings have been the most pronounced, the biggest energy that I felt from spirit coming in so strong. And I hope you can feel it too, that there is a shift that's occurring within you, within your body, within the higher consciousness, within the world, the planets, right? We're rising up. And even though it seems as if we are going into a place of destruction, or it seems as if we are heading towards chaos, things are shaking up. Absolutely. But it's because we are rising in energy, and you are a part of it. If this resonates, Sag, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I will be putting out yearly readings where I go in depth each month for 2023. That'll be towards the end of the month. Thank you so much for being here, Sagittarius. I'm sending all of you beautiful souls lots of love and light. Thanks for tuning in.